like several problems when we started to join IEO. The previous year it was like the first time, and all the problems we solved thanks to the support of IEO like team members, Julia, Anna, and others. And like, of course, like there are a lot of insights that I can share with you, and I hope it will help for your future preparation, especially for those who are applying for the first time. Because me as a team leader who was applying previous year as a first time, I know what does it mean when you are like in an ocean and you have like zero information. And I hope this presentation will help you to kind of eat less the life of Julia and others, and to have like more information. Let me share my screen. So for during today's presentation, I will concentrate more on 4 things. The first of all, what kind of national competition strategy we use. The second one is how we did the selection processes. It's like one of the most difficult parts. How we started to prepare for IEO and what kind of difficulties we had, like that you can use for your future steps and do not have these problems in your case. Okay. So as a national competition strategy, we started with announcement in social media. Like we have a Facebook and Instagram page for our schools. I forgot to mention that the official representative of Armenian delegation is British International School of Armenia. And we started to announce in our social media. Besides that, we know that sometimes some teachers or some students are not active in social media. Maybe they will not be informed about that. We started to send the invitations to other schools as well, like kind of separate personal invitation, which was telling about all the details. We shared the information with that IEO already shared with us, and also the rules, how we are going to involve other students from like other schools, what kind of requirements do they need to keep. Then we started to decide selection processes step by step, like how we can understand like which step is the best option, like, and which one is going to be the next one. So as a selection strategy, we started to receive applications from June 5 until June 16. As you know, IEO was in the end of July and in the beginning of August. So we started the process 3 months, like about 2 months and more before. And we decided that 2 weeks is enough to receive the application, and actually it was enough. However, you need to like work very hard to pay attention to all the applications and see like how to filter them and what kind of strategy to use. When we received the application based on our requirements, of course, we weren't able to trust them 100%, and we need to have like the first checking of how much they are like kind of convenient for the IEO competition, and we decided that we can have an easy test for simple filtration. We did it in like after 1 week of applications, and let me show you how was looking the easy test one. Do you see the test now as well?
Yeah, we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. As you can see, like we have here very simple questions. Like I have some multiple choices, which is like very simple. Then I have some problem solving to see like do they have any information about the problems of economics. And there are some theoretical questions about the different sections of like economics, like drawing diagrams, as you can see, like for example, long run average cost curve, economics and diseconomics of scale, etc. To talk about some other things, and to have like to know, do they have the basic information of the economics or not. After this this step, we started like test 2. Like about 50% students failed the first, like the easy test, and it already showed us that most of them are not like do not have any relevance with this IEO Olympiad, and we started to work with the other part that stayed after test 1, and then we decided to prepare the second test, which is like more difficult and for high quality shortlist. Let me show you the second test as well. And you will see what is the differences between this easy test and difficult test. Here, as you can see, the multiple choices are a little bit longer, and most of them are like something very specific or something that you need to calculate, for example, question 6, or analyze the situation to be able to explain or answer to the question. Also, we have some diagrams, even in multiple choices. Then we have problems that are more difficult than it was before, because we are asking to write economical conclusions. Also, as you can see here, we are asking to show situations on figure. So basically, it's more difficult than it was previous one, because it was just a simple calculation. After that, we have theoretical long questions that to check how much students are ready to write essays. Why we are checking it? Because IEO has not only the multiple choices section for economics, they are also there is another section where students need to write long essays. So it's really important for them to have high level of English and be used to be write economical essays in English previously as well. So it was an opportunity for us to check how they are ready to write essays about economics. And after filtering this second test, we had about 10 students, if I'm not mistaken. It was about a year ago. And then we started to have an interview with those students to see what kind of relationship they can have between each other, because IEO has a business case section as well. And for business case, it's really important to see, are they able to collaborate together? Do they understand what is teamwork? Are they open-minded to work with other students or not? And for that, we were thinking that the interview is the best option to meet them and understand how much they are ready to communicate with others. Based on the interview, we chose 5 students. As you know, the maximum number of students that you can apply for IEO is 5 students. But for not having risks in the future, we decided that we need to have some reservists as well. So we started preparation with 8 students. 5 of them were the main group, and 3 of them were reservists. In case of any problems with others, they could replace those main students. For preparation, of course, I would like to mention that one of the most important things is to understand the structure of IEO. Even everything is written in the website, but you can't understand it from the first look, because you need to discuss, for example, with others, ask questions to our supporters like Julia and other supportive people, and start to understand with students as well, because they also need to see what kind of structure it has and how to be prepared for that. Then, based on the structure, we started to create for us a plan to have a best outcome for our preparation, because we kind of had one map on some weeks, and we should go over one whole book, which was about more than 1,000 pages. And only this book is not enough. They need to prepare for financial game. They need to prepare for business case. So the planning is one of the most important things. To make everything possible, we started to have team meetings, and it was at least twice a week, because we should work productive as much as possible, and to make them collaborate very fastly. And of course, besides of the reading the chapters, explaining them, discussing, we were writing different tests as well from the past IEOs, from the past IEOs, from my own tests, all the things that were supporting to be prepared for IEO Summer Olympiad. And here I would like to share with you some difficulties and what kind of results we had. There is a funny part as well. I think Julia will remember it, but I will tell about it during the last part of presentation. First of all, the main difficult is that you have students from different schools. For example, if you would like to involve different people, like different students from different schools, and your school is not the only one who is teaching economics in English, you have like a cultural differences, because some of them are doing, for example, Pearson A level, some of them are doing IB, some of them like have another teacher, and it's really difficult to work with students that you don't know them, like you didn't know them before, and you have to share with them how much is important this collaboration that we are doing, and they need to be felt like they are a part of team. This is like one of the most difficult things that you need to solve in the beginning. You can have like some team building, some activities to make it possible as soon as possible. For improving collaboration between a high school society, we had, as I mentioned, some team buildings also we were doing out of the school's meeting to see how they are communicating together. Like, are they able to collaborate out of the class discussion as well? Because it would be beneficial for business kids. We had some difficulties with concentration during summer holidays. What does it mean? IEO is like the time, you know, it's in the end of July and it is already summer holiday. And most of the families are planning to go abroad or some another city. And it's really too difficult to explain students that, guys, you need to be concentrated because like we have only the summer, and within like some months, you need to be prepared as much as possible. Also, it is going to be 1 week IEO, like with business case, main economics tests and financial game or literacy game. And they need to be ready, understand how much is important, be present during all the preparation classes, also not be absent from the 1 week Olympiad days. Another difficulty we had with materials and FLG with new terms. FLG is like financial literacy games, and it has thousands of terms that are not usual things for economical students. For example, bonds or this kind of other parts that you need to explain them. And to make them ready to accept this challenge, sometimes it's really challenging for you as well. And sharing these emotions are really difficult, but it's not impossible. And the last thing are there were some like funny moments as well. For example, I had a student who has a bathroom issue for during the Olympiad. As you know, when you're writing a test or you are doing FLG, you can't leave the classroom. You have to be there, like be ready to be checked. Like there are several cameras if it's online, and you can't just leave this camera. And one of my students said, I need a bathroom. And I was like, okay, like you have two options, or you need to wait and finish your economics test. Otherwise, you need to leave the classroom and you will lose your points. And this poor guy was waiting about 1 hour because economics was 2 hours and more. And after 1 hour, when everything was almost finished, there was a technical issue, and IEO decided to extend the time 40 minutes. Just imagine his face, his feelings when he was waiting 1 hour for bathroom, and now he needs to wait one more 40 minutes. And of course, to explain these kids to students, it's really difficult, but when they feel the importance, you don't need to tell thousands of things. You just need to say, hey, remember about the results. We need high results, we need medals, etc. And it can solve all the physical problems, health problems, and other problems as well. So you can have these funny moments as well. Be ready for that. Thank you for attention. And in case of like any questions, feel free to ask. I'm ready to answer whatever you ask.
Thank you very much, Shavarsh, for your presentation. I can also confirm that the strategy for preparing students was indeed successful, since each of your students got a medal at the IEO 2021, right?
Yes, we had 2 silver medals, we had 2 bronze medals, and also we had the top student in financial literacy games who showed who was in top 5. And this student was the student that had a bathroom problem. Like, just in case you like to have this comparison, like with the bathroom problem, he would able to receive be in top 5.
A true IEO hero. I see. Perfect. So do any of you guys have a question to Shavarsh? All right, then I do. Do you have the statistics on how many people registered through which channels? So was the media campaign more successful, or was content in schools more successful?
Actually, like the media campaign is successful to show that this ceremony is going to be happen, but sometimes for those students who never applied for this kind of Olympiad is not clear. And for teachers also is not clear, like what is going to be happen, how it's going to be organized, and personal approach to the schools, it's really important. Especially countries like Armenia, that we have only a few schools who are doing like international programs for economics. Like we needed to call only five schools and explain the situation, how it's important like to be part of this nice Olympiad. And after that, the applications were like more than it was before. And I think it was because of like the personal approach as well. And remember that you can't be, I don't know, maybe in your schools you have like a lot of students and you can have your teams only with your students. But in my case, I had only 3 students from my school and I needed to have more students. And for that, I started to approach to other schools and imagine like they have their schedule, their plan, and you are saying, hey, you need to do additional things. And if you are not able to like share this importance and what kind of benefits will they receive from the Olympiad, especially their students, it's sometimes it's difficult to just to have a post and say, hey, this is nice post, okay, like let's apply. No one will apply if you will not mention the importance as much as is necessary.